Hey there, folks! Welcome to Student Showcase Slot C, our final Student Showcase slot of the day. We are going to be introducing Corrupt Eldritch Order by Wolverine Soft Studio from the University of Michigan. If the development team would like to introduce themselves, we can have introductions and then get started.
Hey everybody, I'm Nikhil Ghosh. I am a current software engineer at Iron Galaxy Studios. I just recently graduated from the University of Michigan. CEO was my 12th and final project at the studio, and I'm really proud of it. So yeah, I was programming lead for the semester. I also helped out a bunch in design. So yeah.
Hello, my name is Athena Nguyen. I am the current audio director at Wolverine Soft Studio. My role in the development of Corrupt Eldritch Order was narrative lead as well as an audio designer.
Awesome. And we have a new officer to help us with the questions. So, Emmanuel, if you could introduce yourself and Jason, and then we can go ahead and get started with the game itself.
All right. My name is Emmanuel Seifu. I go to the University of Maryland as a rising senior, and my, I suppose, major is computer science, but I've been heavily involved in game development for a bit.
And yeah, I am Jason, the SGDA president. Y'all are probably sick of hearing me say that after all these years, but I'm here.
Okay. Let's go ahead and get started with the game. And for our first question, I'd like to ask, how did this game get started and where did you get the idea from?
So, we do a lot of different types of games. I think you recently saw Soul Force, which was an RPG. We've made tons of other cool stuff, action adventure. We've made multiplayer strategy games. But we really wanted to go back to our roots, which are kind of bullet-based games. Think like Nuclear Throne, Villager, things like that. And so we wanted to make another game with bullets, lots of shooting, lots of projectile weapons, things like that. And so we started to try and find games that we wanted to emulate. And I was the one who pitched a game called Gunstar Heroes. If you don't know, Gunstar Heroes was a game kind of similar to Contra. It was released in somewhere sometime in the 90s on Sega. I want to say Genesis, I'm not sure about that. But anyway, it is basically a run and gun game where you run and you shoot and there's a ton of enemies. That was kind of the core of our game. And then our design team got to work on that and realized that we could make something much more unique, much cooler than just a simple Gunstar Hero style clone. Although this takes a lot of inspiration, particularly in the amount of enemies, the way that weapons combine. But we thought we could go further. We thought we could do kind of a roguelike game of sorts where you have randomly generated levels, you have unique types of enemies. We thought we could improve the platforming a lot, and that we could make the game more vertical. And that was kind of a, like all those kind of inspired us a lot to make this game.
I completely forgot about the death sound. So that was an actual small jump scare when I heard it.
Oh, sorry.
No,
yeah.
you're good. I was like, oh right, that was what it sounded like. Mano, do you have any questions that you'd like to ask from our list?
Yeah.
Okay, there we go. You shouldn't get any more jump scares.
I'm more curious about what the plans for the future development of the game are, if you guys don't mind.
Sure. So, we worked on this game in a large team from January to April. April, that team disbanded. It's been me and a couple others. And we were able to get the game to a really fun moment-to-moment state. But things like the meta progression between runs that you typically want in a roguelike, we felt like we could do a lot better of it. So we extended our usual development time by a couple months after the semester to make the game feel more whole. That's kind of what we've been doing. Things like better particle effects, more shaders for unique effects. We want to overhaul more of the UI, add things like overall progression screens, and just generally improve the communication of the game. Also, giving the boss more attacks. All sorts of really fun. Oh man. Okay, but yeah, this. So if you were on the team last semester, but have not seen the game recently, this is actually one of the newest additions. Is this revamped game over screen? Anyway, just a lot of. We feel like we like the moment-to-moment gameplay, but we want to keep improving more of the in-between runs, more of the menus, more of the roguelike elements to it.
Because roguelikes are difficult.
They are difficult to make. I think we did underestimate the difficulty just a bit, but we've been able to get a lot of good stuff the past few months. So.
Awesome. I want to kind of bounce off of that, and ask, what do you like about the roguelike genre and also that twin stick shooter genre? I actually looked it up. Gunstar Heroes is indeed Sega Genesis, so you're right there.
Okay, that's good.
What do you and the team like? I noticed that this game also has a lot of development, so Athena, you could talk about that as well. But yeah, what do you?
Athena, do you want to go first?
I think what I liked about this kind of project is the endless possibility of what we could take, especially with art and audio. So the theme that we went with was that kind of body horror, which that always appeals to me because it's just the amount of sound effects that you can make and the grossness of it is just adds to that kind of immersion that people can just get themselves to I guess get into the game with, and that's something that's just you can just I guess in a way we can say it's just have endless possibilities with it and play around with it.
I'll let you.
Sorry. Sometimes I get into the zone with this game. But anyway, on the gameplay side, we love about roguelikes is that every run kind of feels unique. You have to adapt with what you're given, you could go on in a lot of roguelikes, basically endlessly, and we really liked all of that. For the twin stick shooter side, we have a lot of experience building games with bullets, and so games that are fast-paced, games that are action-oriented, and given that we had just built an RPG and a online multiplayer turn-based strategy game, we felt like we wanted to do something just a bit more action-oriented, and so this kind of fit us pretty well.
So, oh my god, that pattern is... I'll be honest, I had a really good run both times that I played this game, and so I did not see that many patterns of the boss.
Okay, so...
Same.
Yeah, so there have been some pretty big updates since the last build. We are going to release this game on Steam in, I want to say, about a month, and so that Steam update is going to have lots of really cool features that I think are going to make the experience even more enjoyable.
We'll have to go ahead and find that and put it in the Twitch chat, and also on our website as well.
Yeah.
Awesome. I'd like to ask, what do you think was the most difficult part of development for this game? And after that, like, what are you most proud of?
So there were a lot of difficult parts of this. First was like getting the character controller to feel good. Took a lot of work. There's lots of extra juice features that we added. But another big one was the communication. For instance, you may have seen me go into a special state whenever the bar in the blue bar in the top left fills up. That's because it's called mana, and it's basically something that you acquire as you defeat enemies, and you get a special combo state when you have unlocked, or when you've acquired enough mana. You go into it, suddenly your weapons become new, or in some cases you become invulnerable. It's lots of cool stuff. But we initially envisioned it as combo weapons, additional things that you could fire. And so that became really hard to make, because now you have 3 different buttons that you were trying to communicate. How would they all work together? Figuring out the iterations you need to get through in design, I think was pretty hard. We eventually got something that feels pretty good, but yeah, I would say that the amount of iterations it took to get our communication right, get all the mechanics explained, and get the mechanics to feel cohesive and fun to play. That was probably our biggest one. As for the thing that makes me most proud, I'm proud of the fact that the progression between runs works pretty well. And I'm proud of the way that this character controller feels. I'm also really, just in general, proud of the team. I was the lead of the programming team. I'm really proud of everybody who was a programmer on that. But yeah, so many people stepped up and did such great work to make this thing a reality.
I am seeing in Twitch chat people are saying that the player controller looks really smooth, and also that the movement mechanics also look like they feel really good. So I think you guys really did nail it with regards.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I'm pretty happy with it. Some edges that are pretty rough. I'm not sure why the ninja is not unlocked, but fix that.
That's going to be, players will have to discover and play ninja on their own.
Yep, they will.
One question that I'd like to ask before I can pass it to you, Emmanuel, is how has the game changed over time from the original idea, if it has changed that much at all? Because game ideas can be they can change in a lot of ways. I envisioned something simple when I pitched the idea of Nova Drift, because not Nova Drift. Nova Drift was our previous game of Gunstar Heroes. We initially expected to be quite simpler. Then, as we got to designing it, we kind of did design by accretion, as in things like we want multiple weapons, we want combo weapons. What if we took the resource system from Diablo and made that kind of a thing? So, we added lots of elements over time. Even things like, for instance, weapons. When you start a run, your weapon has no mods, but if you go to the shop, which I really hope that the shop comes soon, because I'm 2 health, and it'll be helpful.
Yeah, it would be helpful to be able to purchase some health. Anyway, once you see the shop, you will see the fact that you can purchase guns with different modifiers on them. So things like you can make your bullets set enemies on fire. You can make just all sorts of cool stuff. That is, yeah, okay. This is pretty close to unlocking more weapons, which would be nice to show you all. So yeah. Anyway, things like that with the shop, like those got added incrementally as we realized that we wanted more player agency. We wanted more like ways to make runs interesting. So yeah, a lot of elements get added. I apologize. What's the second part of that question?
That's basically just from the original idea. How has it changed? I think you nailed it.
Okay, so yeah, Athena, you want to talk about anything relating to narrative iteration? In particular, our fish head guy, Craig.
Oh yeah. So something that we wanted to stress is to make sure that we had some kind of narrative to accompany this game. So that's how like the narrative department was formed, with like multiple people from different departments, like the art, audio, programming, and design, just like anyone who was like very passionate in writing a story. So the pitch / idea for the story was that you're a corporate employee that is just trying to survive in this hellish world, and you sort of work as a corporate assassin to like finish all these jobs that you get from your employer, which is the fishbowl guy, which is the shopkeep called Craig. But you also kind of discover later on it's just like things aren't as it seems, and it's just like it's more of a cycle of like, oh, you're there forever, you suffer, even if you die you still gotta fight until like it's just die, fight again, die, fight again, that kind of thing.
It's the kind of like a roguelike, like playing to that roguelike element.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay. Right. Hopefully I'll be able to show you Craig soon. Where the shop? But yeah, this sometimes in runs you can not get a shop, and so yeah, it doesn't help.
You just gotta power through it.
Yeah. 2 health. Maybe I can do this.
There's the boss. So.
There's the boss.
We'll ask the next question after this, so you got all your focus.
Okay.
Yeah, so I guess I'll ask it. What would you say was the primary challenge and game design philosophies you guys applied when trying to figure out what levels you wanted to generate for the random generation of the game?
Dina, I think you're taking this one.
I would say that in regards to level design is just try to make sure you map it out in order to make it like not only unique, but it's like something that is manageable to get through. So for at least for the design team, like I know that they always worked hard, met weekly, just to like basically do some kind of paper prototyping, just to like see what worked best. And it's like also a collaboration with the art team, just to like figure out like, oh, how's it gonna like accompanied with those levels, just to kind of not only play with the theme, but also make it that it's something that people can immerse themselves in, especially if it's like a corporate hellscape, basically.
Right.
Yeah.
Nikhil, anything that you'd like to say on it?
I think we're good. Oh, we are going to see Craig. This
Yes.
is Craig, the shopkeeper. He's got a goldfish for a head. Whoever came up with the idea, I forget who it was, is a really cool design.
Yes. I could talk on that. So we had a meeting on this, and we were trying to figure out like what would our shopkeep look like. And something that we thought about is just like, wouldn't it be really funny? Because like I think one of our team members was watching the Umbrella Academy, and there's the guy with a fish bowl on his head. So we were just like, can we do something like that, but with like an octopus? So that's how it's like we used that Dumbo octopus idea and kind of played around with that idea of being like, hey, he's that kind of employer that just wants you to get the job done, so step to it.
Yeah, just go get it done. Don't ask questions. There's no time for questions. There's no time to get it done.
Yeah. Wait, so that's an octopus, not a goldfish.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's even more interesting because I don't know how they got the octopus in there. I don't think I want to know the answer to that.
Yeah.
Like a
Yeah,
very
sort of-
anime thing to do, I feel.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
For a final question, just because we are coming up on time, is there anybody that you'd like to shout out or give any mention to?
I mean, I could go on for a while. I do want to shout out basically every member of our team that stepped up. We had 40 people. We had an ambitious game. We appreciate everybody who trusted us. And I want to shout out a lot of members of my team. Glen and Dan, Glen Warren, Dan Hassett were designers that originally pitched this. They did a pretty good job with the pitch. They've done a good job really adjusting with the pitches that we've had. We've been thrown a lot of curveballs by this game. All sorts of stuff has gone wrong, but we've made it work. Yeah, I forgot that this boss, this run has the high health modifier, so I'm gonna die. Yeah. Yeah, I'm glad you guys got to see a lot of the game. And yeah, Athena, anything you want to add?
Yeah, I could probably shout out the leadership team. We had Naveen, who was the project lead. Dan and Glen were great leading our design departments. Nikhil, of course, and Shawn, they were great for programming, as well as Morgan, who did a lot of the QA stuff. Sam and Milo were awesome, especially with art. And Emily was an awesome audio lead, and Antonio did wonderful in regards to marketing the game. But that's only a little bit of the team. Like, if anything, like, if we didn't have the large amount of people that were in our studio for that time, like, this game would not have happened. And I am forever grateful that they gave the game a chance and put life into it.
Yeah. Also, shout out to Dorillian. He's the UI designer. He made these menus, and he did this. Like, he designed every menu that you saw in this game, which is a lot of work. But he stepped up to it.
That is super cool.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for coming by and talking about your game. We really enjoyed playing it. Thank you to the audience for hanging around. Just coming up next, we've got our design panel, and that's going to be our final panel for the day. Thank you to Corrupt Eldritch Order once again, and we'll see you guys later.
Hey, thank you.
Thank you.